When it comes to Black Ops 7 multiplayer, a lot of the guns in this game are pretty difficult to use because of the recoil patterns, but in this video we're going to go over 8 of the meta weapons or 4 of the best loadouts that you want to use for Black Ops 7. Starting off at number 1, we've got the Dravik 45, which is an SMG with the VS Recon sniper. This is the most aggressive sniper in the game, built out correctly. Then when it comes to the field upgrade, we are using the muted field just to make sure we stay off any score streaks, and we also remain hidden. And then we've got the lightweight perk 1, which allows us to have increased movement speed, jump, slide, and dive further, and faster recovery from sliding and diving. We've got Vigilance, which gives us a bigger minimap, which is super important in this game because the minimap is too small. Vigilance is almost an absolute must perk. And then we've got Dexterity on there as well, so we can get the specialty of Scout, which is right under the camera here. So all the perks and the tacticals and lethals stay exactly the same as well, but let's get on into the Dravik. So moving straight into the Dravik build now, we're not going to waste too much time on describing the build to you. We'll show you the recoil inside the firing range, however. So as you can see, Hawker Stabilizer, muzzle, we've got the EAM Horizon Barrel, we've got the Herald, and we've got the Swift Point and the recoil springs, or the recoil system, whatever you want to call it. Now when we're looking at this inside the firing range, this gun is the super lowest recoil in terms of all the SMGs, and most people will be using this one the most because it's the easiest to use. And even at super far ranges, you can still hit your shots with this gun, which is great. And the mag is pretty good too, even the base mags. People are increasing the mag on this one, but I don't really think it's necessary at all because you're going to be hitting all your shots anyway. Then we've put this with the most aggressive VS Recon build I could possibly make, and I think this is the only one that's kind of viable in like multiplayer because you need to be super aggressive in this game, and sniping is not all that viable compared to other CODs. We've got the Titan Compensator, Nimbus Barrel, Dash Line Magazine, which reduces the mag capacity but increases the ADS time, Shelf Grip, Instinct Laser there as well. Again, showing you this one in the firing range, what we're mainly showing you here is how quick the ADS time is on this gun, because you're going to need to be super aggressive even when you're sniping in this game. So as you can see, you can definitely hit your shots. Obviously the mag has been reduced slightly, which is something you need to keep in mind, and realistically you don't really want to be stood still too long to even hold your breath with this gun, but you can obviously do that and land some insane shots. These targets are obviously not moving, so easier to hit. When it comes to the second loadout, we've got the M15 mod O with the V-Locks. Everything stayed the same aside from the fact that we've got High Roller on here for the extra score streak. When it comes to the M15 mod, we'll quickly show you this first because this is probably the best gun in the entire game, to be honest with you. And as you can see, the build is right here. We've got the 5.56 brake, iron hold grip. We've also got extended mags on here, but you don't really need extended mags. You can swap this out for something else if you really want to. We've got the H2 grip, and then we've got the Bowen linchpin stock. Now, like I said, you can remove the mag depending on what mode you're playing and how you're feeling on the day if you're hitting your shots. But like I said, in the firing range, this gun is just super accurate. As you can see, at range, it's the only full auto gun you could definitely hit your shots with, especially out to those farther distances. As you can see here, you could probably put an optic on this instead of the larger mag. That will probably help you a little bit at landing those shots at distance, but this is the gun, right, for this game. It's super low recoil. You're going to get good damage ranges, good damage values, and good TTKs out to these extremely far ranges with the full auto weapon. So the other gun was a secondary V-Locks, which is a burst fire pistol, and we're only using a single burst fire pistol here because it's going to be a bit more versatile for us. And as you can see here, we've got the narrow break, we've got the LX3M barrel, we've got the Draco reserve mags, we've got the perennial grip, I don't even know what that's even called, and the rapid sight motion laser. Again, in the firing range, this gun is only going to be useful within that 1 burst range, which is going to be super close range. Once you hit that 10 meters, it's going to take 2 bursts, but it's going to be difficult to get your kills at that range. So you need to make sure you land every single shot and make sure you add in a couple of headshots. But realistically, you should be using this only when you need to switch weapons and only in super close ranges. Now, if you have really good movement, then you could make it work as a primary weapon if you really want to run a sniper with it or something, or if you're doing some kind of challenge. But other than that, it's really going to rely on that below 10 meter mark. So for the third loadout, we've got the M8A1 and we also have the MPC-25. Everything else remains the same, of course. We do have overkill on here, so we can run 2 primary weapons. And we do have what is basically the best marksman rifle in the game with probably the second best SMG in the game. This gun is just a really, really mobile SMG, but we'll get on into that in just a moment. When it comes to the M8A1, this is the build you want to be using. So you want to use the ELO optic, the 5.56 brake, you want to use the force stabilizer for the horizontal control, and you also want to use the motion strike laser. This is going to help with recoil stabilization, which is super important on this gun. Also, that first shot recoil as well with the muzzle is stupidly important as well. Now, the final attachment, as you can see, we've only used 4, is completely personal preference. People like to use the rear grips on here, which help more with recoil stabilization. I don't think you need extra recoil stabilization for multiplayer, but if you want to go for that, you can. You can also go for a larger mag if you really want to, but what I've actually been using here is this barrel, which actually helps with more of the aim down sight speeds, right? Which basically makes this gun a bit more aggressive with no cons whatsoever. So I quite like this one. And showing you this in the firing range, this is the build that I personally like. As you can see, you can easily land shots even at those further ranges, no problem at all. This is a very accurate weapon. Like I said, if you add on that rear grip as well on top of this, it's going to make it a stupidly accurate gun. But again, you want to make sure that you're getting 1 or 2 burst kills with this. That is the most important thing. Like I said, the MPC is probably the most mobile SMG in the game in terms of movement. So you want to kind of keep that movement in the weapon whilst trying to get it to be relatively accurate whilst you're moving around, of course. So we have the shift hand stop under barrel. We've got the photonic adaptive grip. We've got the pedal stock, agile laser, and the recoil springs, or whatever you want to call it. Once again, taking it into the firing range now, you will see that this is not the most accurate SMG, but you can still control it at those kind of mid ranges. But in terms of movement, this SMG slides, man. It slides around the map ridiculously well. You can see that your movement is going to be insane. Even your strafing speeds are ridiculously fast. You could even put on faster strafing attachments if you really wanted to. But that's going to come down to personal preference. But at super close ranges and when you're moving around and sliding around, especially using Omni movement, this is one of the best guns in the game. Last but not least, when it comes to the final loadout, we've got the MXR-17, which is a very solid weapon, by the way. Probably the second best assault rifle in the game, especially if you want to land shots at range. And we've also got the Coda 9 as well, which is a bit of fun added into this game. So when it comes to the loadout for the MXR-17, which I think a lot of you will actually like, we've got the Greaves suppressor, we've got the Sentry Pro hand stop, we've got the Vault extended mags, which you do need on this gun, by the way. It only has 20 rounds base, the Virgil grip, and then we also do have the motion striker laser once again. Now, taking this one into the firing range, I need to show you the recoil of this one. So in terms of just firing without any control, it pretty much goes vertically upwards and to the right for the most part. You can kind of compensate for this quite a bit and easily land your shots. And it doesn't take very many shots to kill someone with this gun because it does hit pretty hard. So as you can see here, if you land like a headshot or whatever, you're basically melting the enemy pretty quickly with one singular headshot. So as soon as you get one in there, it's reduced that time to kill significantly. Now, at stupidly far ranges, you will need to try your best to control this weapon, but it's definitely still controllable. And finally, we've got the Coda 9, which is basically a fun gun to use. It is an akimbo, but you do need to barrel stuff this pretty much to make it work. If you're not super close range, under 10 meters or even under 5 meters, you're not really going to do well with this gun at all. It's basically shotgun ranges you need to use this gun. But when it comes to the muzzle, you want to use the one that helps with all the hip fire spreads. As you can see here, it also helps with slide and dive to fire speeds, which is super important when you have a gun in akimbo. When it comes to magazine capacity, you want to choose the largest mags available, which is 25 round mags. This is before you prestige this weapon. Obviously, you do get a 30 round option after that. We've got the pincer grip, which helps with sprint to fire speeds and jumping to fire speeds. We've got akimbo, obviously, to make this gun feel fun to play. And then we also do have the pinpoint pistol laser, which helps with hip fire spread as well. So showing you these guns in the firing range, as you can see, at super close ranges, you are going to struggle to hit shots at anything past 10 meters, to be honest with you. You need to be barrel stuffing as much as you possibly can. You can get kills, but to be honest, that's a pretty slow time to kill at 10 meters, realistically, because you'll be missing a lot of shots. But like I said, if you're barrel stuffing, you're going to be deleting enemies super fast. It's just really fun to use in general. I like using akimbo guns because they're just really fun to play with. But that is this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe for more Call of Duty Black Ops 7 content, and thank you very much for watching.